We are living our lives. Above with so much information. Come on, let go of the remote. Don't you know you're ready on a jump for that? Turn us to the boat, the book in on the road, but I don't use. Hey, I've been consumed. Loading, loading, loading. Quickly reaching maximum capacity. Want it, want it, want it. Gonna show some my identity. Get up on your feet, teeth down the world. Get your glimpse of the whole world. Snooping round and we'll get you nowhere. You look up in your mind. We all dropping a maze of relationships. Life goes on with or without you. I swim in the sea of the unconscious. I search for your heart, don't see my truth. Get up, it's time to get real. Can't control the steering wheel. Outside isn't about a mystery. Won't get out so easily. We are living our lives, so we realize what's happening. Hey, brother, watch yourself. Grab your things, don't miss your chance. Find your own rhythm and dance your own dance. Be creative, chart your course. You must know what is ahead. Driving through the end of the ocean. Living up security. You are standing in the middle of another world. It's hard to figure real emotions. You are smiling in a shockwave with bitter tears. Let me help you find a place to guard it. Oh, we all dropping a maze of relationships. Life goes on with or without you. I swim in the sea of the unconscious. I search for your heart, don't see my truth.
What's up, guys? It's been a while. Missed doing this. How have we been? We're live here with CK201, I guess it is called now. I didn't think of an actual title for this, but here we are. About time to actually talk about some college markers on. Thank you, Fitchy. We already got the first ban of the semester. Woo! Yeah. Still getting loads of these like bots here, but hey, it happens, it happens. Can only do so much about it, but hey, that's what we have mods here for. I can't believe like we really have bots coming for college Mario Kart stuff. Also, fun thing. I know there was the little meme about me streaming Raid Shadow Legends over the summer, but hey, look what we got here in this bottom mid spot, kind of on the right side. HelloFresh sponsorship, maybe for a little bit. I haven't figured out the entire thing where it's like you can put the chat command, the bot command in the chat, and then like the HelloFresh thing will just keep going there. But if you want sponsor, I'll drop the link real quick. Cause look, why not? Where is it? I know it's in my Discord. It's in somewhere in my Discord. I shared it with a few friends. But if you want to support the stream, I guess we actually have a sponsorship. I haven't practiced the entire like thing there, but hey, if you want, take a look. Shameless plug. HelloFresh. Hey, it's not as bad as the other plugs we've done, but regardless. Anyways, back on actual topic, we have a lot to discuss here today. Yes, the college season hasn't fully started yet. NRC has already gone their FFA stuff. Syllabus week just recapped as well. Shout out Fitchy for that. There's a way to do the thingy here. I'll eventually realize the stream elements thing. I'll have it up as well, but there's a lot to cover. Syllabus week really especially showed a ton of interesting stuff. I think that's going to affect the 6v6 scene in terms of the collegiate community. And there's also some like results that are happening in NRC, which is like, at least from a seeding perspective, going into later on. That was awesome. Now that Raid Ad is awesome, I can't lie to you. That was the worst like 2 hours. That was some of the worst 2 hours of my life. That game was freaking terrible. Like, I was actually like hating myself playing it, and I'm like, I have to pretend to say good things about this, but it's like, oh my gosh, it just was not for me. If people enjoy the game legitimately, I don't get how, but hey, HelloFresh can't be as bad, right? I might do a cooking stream in the next like month or so. This thing goes on for like a month, so this should be fun. But yeah, use the code for the free thing of like whatever HelloFresh. I didn't practice the thing yet. By the seeding stream, you will hear that. Hell, yo, shout out to Bobby J2345, my man from Heidelberg University. How are you doing, man? It's been great over here. I love to see this. Love to see the representation from the scene already coming out. A bit late on this. I was planning on recapping as soon as before syllabus week started, because I wanted to do like the little, not really like seating there, but I wanted to do like a preview about syllabus week. But I was not able to do so yet, so unfortunate. I realize now I have my 30-second delay on from MKU still on, and my MKU's thing on Sunday just did not go. But I guess, yeah, holy cooking stream? Yeah. So okay, I have to be aware that everything I say in the next 30 seconds will not be there for a bit, but yeah. You might legitimately see me do a cooking stream. That'd be so funny, though, if I actually do a cooking stream. And I think it'd be, at least for me, it's so much more exciting than Raid Shadow Legends. I have no idea how I'm going to do that yet, but hey. Busy with NRC stuff, crushing it with the media. Until I will say, NRC, there's been some stuff I know behind the scenes. I've looked at it myself, but some of the stuff there, they're holding it down together, and there's some great stuff going on in NRC, and I love the results I'm seeing. I really messed up my cam. Oh my god. Yeah. So my camera's finicky. I learned that now. That if I touch the wire, it will do that. So my bad, guys. You get a really weird screen shot of me. Not the first time, sadly. There's the whole Mickey Mouse thing. There was me just staring off into the abyss with at the Moravian lab. Okay, we can finally talk about CKL, or talk about college stuff now. We'll start off with syllabus week. We'll transition into NRC. So syllabus week is almost done. Technically, we are still waiting on the results from UCSD Michigan, which it kind of acts as like the consolation game, I guess, the third place game. While grand finals was between FIU and Oklahoma. And the results we saw from syllabus week were fun. We're gonna switch over there to professors trying to get you to teach classes. What are they doing, Bobby J? Nah, if you're not getting paid, you shouldn't be teaching classes. I taught one class, more of a workshop, not a class, but I taught one class in undergrad. And like, okay, it was fun. I enjoyed it. I actually really did. But I should have gotten some kind of compensation for it. Wow, what is with my camera today? Yeah, okay, so it's gonna be an iffy camera day. So it's a good thing we're gonna go over to screen share now. I love challenge ads. I love challenge. I love challenge. Okay, I legitimately do love challenge, but like, the ads of challenge. Professor Spicy. Nah, Professor Bobby J sounds so much better. Will not lie to you about that. a shame we had some forfeits here because there's some legitimately good matches. I do want to take a look at some of these. So, the big thing we noticed from Syllabus Week is, well, there's a few things that really good. No ad block? On Challenge, nah, I don't bother. I really should. I don't really invest in ad block. I have no money right now, or nor do I like actually put on any of the free stuff. I don't trust my computer right now, so it's like, oh well. Pretend they're not there. Wells Fargo ad, Tylenol ad, we'll see. So, we might end up switching over real quick, but the big thing here is the results. The top 4 are the teams you kind of expected here. Dang, this is a cool website. Challenge is legitimately a great website, with the exception of the ads. Because I actually used this to like run, when I ran like LANs and all that, or ran tournaments like school, I would use Challenge. Challenge is a very simple thing to use. It's easier than StartGG, I think, but StartGG is a bit nicer. And it's the reason why you get all this here. Oh my god, yeah. I'm sorry, guys. We'll ignore the ads very shortly soon. I have to move my Discord to a different server because, like, I have my like personal server, one of my personal servers over there. So, yeah, MLB ads now? What the heck? Removed. That's kind of funny, actually. Camera, be nice to me today. I don't know if it will be, but we'll see what happens. So, okay, now that we can actually talk, the thing about D1 in CKL, or what's looking to be Division 1, is that there's kind of this gap between like the teams we think are going to be D1 and then everyone else. From those who participate in Syllabus Week, FIU, we knew about this. We looked at this and they're like, yeah, this is basically the greatest recruiting class ever. What is with my camera today? Oh my god, we might be a camera-less stream. Give me a sec. Yeah, so the thing about FIU is that we expected them to be this good, like legitimately. Like, I don't think anyone looked at FIU and was like, yeah, they have these great players, but oh well. But it's not gonna be something like crazy. Like, legitimately. It's a crazy team here. They have such great talent across the board. So, like, we expected them to be, like, just this phenomenal group overall. Adding Green, adding Gank is such a scary thing. This, like, you look at recruiting class, and, like, FIU is up there. Like, what the heck? We actually have a team with, like, this legitimately amazing recruiting class. Because, look, we have a very short history of college Mario Kart, but this is, without a doubt, the greatest college Mario Kart recruiting class we've seen this thus far. I don't know if I want to get to a point where we really see teams get really good recruiting classes, but it'd be cool if we actually see a program utilize a great recruiting class just like FIU does. They had crazy ways to get this class, but you never know. I don't expect to actually go recruit for Mario Kart, but imagine we get to that point in the future. That would be so cool. Then we go to Oklahoma, UCSD, and Michigan. 3 teams here that you looked at them, and there's just like, it is a reason why here. I do want to point out this table. Because one thing, yes, Michigan did not bring top lineup, but Oklahoma pulling off a win against Michigan in tournament is still a great thing for this program. You notice that, like, this team, Oklahoma, and I know I'm biased as heck because friends with a lot of them, acted as coach pretty much the first Syllabus Week. But now to see them grow into this has been really impressive. And now another thing here with Oklahoma is that their recruiting has been really good. Like, Oklahoma's recruiting and just being able to develop players has been insane. One name really stands out, Smiley, now player for, I want to say it's MK Scholars, MKS. has been phenomenal, especially being one of those players, I think, still representing that Yoshi bike, as far as I know. But like Oklahoma is finding these players like Dutch as well, unless Dutch is a person who I have just decided, oh yeah, I can't remember their name right now, but Oklahoma's depth is insane because you look at this and like, dear lord, like Oklahoma, you look at their team, you have Golden, Rhino, JWT, Rumble, Taika, Caleb already, 6, just those 6 are really insane. Toby is insane now. You add Smiley there. I was watching the one Dry Bones player, just so bad, Dutch as well. There's like a lot of depth in Oklahoma, and I think they're really good and really close to being a team that could be truly contending in the future. When we eventually get to the seeding stream in was it October 6th when I do the deadline, you're gonna hear a really interesting takes on Oklahoma's program, and I think right now they're solid D1. No one's gonna contest that, and like there's a reason why they are here. Michigan, I know this is a lost result, but like this program is really exciting, and I know they're having your 2 teams, or at least that's the goal here with the AAA Wolverines as well. And I think that's really fun to see a program like Michigan, who they did win as part of House Divided in the fall of 2023, but going into the fall of 2024, this team, you add the core that they have now, and there's certain players who are really growing. C2D2 has been a name that's been like progressing ever since I remember, especially in ECRC, now NRC. You saw that kind of development there, and it's really starting to shine in the war setting in the 6v6, and I'm really excited to see what Michigan does. Early leak now, but I think Michigan is a very true contender, like, to win it all in the fall. There's a lot to go on here about Michigan. Like, there's such a great sense here, and having Fexican for a full season, ideally if they have their best players all the time, that's a program you're definitely going to be on the look for. And obviously, UCSD, granted, yes, this is a loss, but like, but you look at UCSD, and especially because now they have 2 teams, because they still have 2 teams, and they're not even able to maximize in recruiting right away, because they don't start until, I want to say, it's like next week. They start later than like everyone else because of being on the quarter system while everyone else is in semester. But you look at UCSD, and this is a program with a lot of great stuff that I'm super excited to see here. Top Hat Bear is really coming into a player of their own. You're noticing that Astra Louise is so good as well. Yes, they lost Zach, but there's so much great players. And on the side of UCSD, you can never count them out. And I think they're going to be one of the most consistent teams going into the fall season. And definitely one of the teams that really is going to contend in the future. And you know what? UCSD too, I can't wait to see how that roster finalizes, because that's a team where I'm super hyped to watch, especially when we go into like the lower divs of CKL, because I won't leak it now, but my projected Division 4 for CKL it might actually be one of the most fun divisions to watch. When you look at the star power that's actually in there, the storylines that could be had between certain teams, and just the opportunity to see certain players develop and really shine in a setting where, yes, they're not competing in Division 1 or even Division 2, but being at the lower divisions in a really competitive aspect, it's going to let them come into a player of their own, and I'm really hyped to see certain players go there. Yes, it's a Live League, but I have UCSD in D4, UCSD 2 in D4-ish for now, depending on how rosters finalize, of course, and that's another thing. I have to see how a lot of these rosters finalize. We'll take a look into the rest of into how the signups are looking so far for CKL towards the end, because there's some teams I think you're going to be really excited to see. One table where is it? There's one table I really want to look at. By the way, Maryland tables, the Fate doing this, it's amazing. Love that. UAH and Nebraska. So I think that one of the common things was, where does UAH fall in terms of what their seeding is going to be? They had a rough season last semester where I want to say they're 5th in Division 3. Had a rough thing, but one thing that really showed out was that Green is really coming into a play of their own. I know Green really focuses a lot on lounge and the collegiate scene right now, but Green has become such a phenomenal player, and I'm super excited to see how this team develops. Creo is obviously still a very solid addition here, and like having Creo as like a second option instead, I think at this point now, kind of scary to have a player like Creo be your number 2, because you look at what they were doing in the last fall in Division 3 and that thing, and that was crazy. Like, that was legitimately some like phenomenal stuff, especially doing it with like off meta. Not easy to do whatsoever. And like Cheese developing as well. Nothing Dracia is short. Too short. UAH, I think, is a team where they're gonna go under the radar pretty much every season, where despite having Green and Creo and a few other names, I don't know if they'll necessarily get the respect they deserve, because they are always competing with teams that are like really starting to show off at something. One of those teams being Nebraska, and yes, UAH did beat Nebraska here in this table, and this is one of the results I was really waiting for in syllabus week, because whether we like it or not, the bulk of teams in syllabus week were either Division 1 or had a case to be Division 1, and I'm sorry, UAH and Nebraska, but I think they were both like settling, or not settling, but they're both realistically shooting for Division 3. And you look at this, and it's like, Nebraska is such a solid team also as well. Mark Coco, like, you saw them, especially in Summer Switch Up, really starting to become something special in the collegiate scene, and there were definite signs of it last spring. But now you're seeing the quality of play that Mark Coco is able to put out consistently for Nebraska. That's a team that, especially because this isn't their top lineup either. So Nebraska is a very scary program to think about. And I don't know if they're pushing D2 yet. They're kind of close, but I see them still as a Division 3 threat. And that's a team where they've made the playoffs 2 seasons in a row, both in the fall and the spring of last academic year. There's no reason to think they can't win it all this year, especially this season, depending on how the division shakes up. Because you'll think about it. Last fall, they pushed Iona to the limit in the playoffs of 2023. Really, while they didn't take a game, they got it really close too, and that was really impressive at the time. They upset Morgan in semis last season, had FIU up against the wall until FIU makes a comeback in Division 3 finals, both wars. So, and because of that, Nebraska are mostly in the game 1, but now Nebraska, they've come close 2 times. They've made the playoffs both times, and I think the pieces are starting to fall together. This team is something special to look for in Division 3, especially because that coaching staff, oh man, Nebraska coaching staff is one of the best in the business. The Midwest really, as a whole, has some of the best like assistance programs. So I'm really excited to see what happens here. So yeah, we talked about the top 4 teams. We talked about the 2 teams that are in Division 3. But I think one of the other storylines, the big one, Maryland and Arizona State, wherever I can find them. Only bringing up both those teams, their results, because it was early on, and it's 2 new teams. Arizona State and Maryland are 2 teams who have a case to be Division 1. And I think, depending on how people are trying to do their projections and how they're looking to seed these teams, they could be Division 1. I realistically don't know yet, because I feel like they're both 1 season away. from maybe hitting Division 1. It's really rare to think about a team that will go from new in CKL to D1. And I don't know if they're there quite yet. We'll start with Arizona State, who did win this war. I think they tied, actually. Or they have the same record. Yeah, they had the same record in syllabus week, with Arizona State having the tiebreaker because of win-loss, or head-to-head, so they are one rank over. But you notice that in terms of scoring, Maryland has that advantage as well. So Arizona State is a really interesting team to consider. Hello, Ted Bear. You missed the FIU discussion where I'm like, adding Green and adding Gank is basically the cements FIU this season is having currently the best recruiting class you've ever seen in CKL history. We don't have much of a history yet in that regard, but hey, that's basically a Duke level basketball class, Kentucky basketball type of recruiting class. So it's been cool to see that. And you never know what happens in the future. Maybe we see other teams start to really get some great members. You never know what happens. But right now, it's about Arizona State and Maryland. Two teams who I think have a chance to be D1. Might not be there just yet, at least maybe not this season, but maybe next. You never know. And depending on how staff looks at these two teams, or maybe if there's more results that come up, you'll see. We'll see. I'll get back to FIU soon. By the way, I'm on a 30-second delay, so because from MKU still, so it might be a bit until you hear it. Bro wants to be glazed as a bitch. You never know. Yeah, we'll do a bit of that. Every team here wants to be glazed. That's kind of the purpose of this stream. Let's be honest, guys. I try to glaze like every team. Just hype them up. Even teams I don't know anything about, like Idaho. That's a new team. I'm excited to see what they do. Legitimately, though, I am. Hello, Stingray. Shout out to Stingray. 4th at Riptide 2024. Really had a shot to be a medalist there. Really popped off. Well, that was super exciting to see Stingray. And obviously, great player. We'll talk about Stingray more near the end of the CKL block, because that's a player I think we want to start really discussing soon. Now, the thing here is, okay, back here. Arizona State. I don't know how many of you guys remember this or were around, but there was a team at one point called Inward Club in MKU. I don't know if they actually played, but ASU kind of pushes that level in terms of being like, there's a lot of bike presence from the side of Arizona State. And you will see, especially with Cairo there, it really builds around to FIU League. Oh my god. It really builds around the strengths of like Cairo and the rest of that team. Slick is insane. I remember watching and like, ooh, there's a few names here that really started to shine, and like Slick being one of them. We'll take a look at the other Arizona State tables because, yeah, Slick, very solid. That's a very solid name, and to add along with Cairo, Bonanza as well. I remember seeing Keygen, like, yeah, these are some great names here from the side of ASU. And I think it's going to be a bit for them to hit the Division 1 level, but I think there's definitely the potential there to be for Arizona State. I have them currently seated as like incredibly high D2, like higher level D2, but I think they're pushing it. They're pushing a really impressive level very soon, and I want to see how this progresses in the fall, because I think Arizona State is going to be a program you want to watch for. Revisit this stream next year. Arizona State might be solid D1. You never know, especially with, I don't remember the ages of all the players here, who's a senior, who's graduating, who's going to look to even just not play the game. You never know, but we'll see what happens with Arizona State. Really impressive team so far, and I think that's and they had a great showing in syllabus week. Being like one of those teams that like, honestly, had a great resume, and I think it's going to really push for a case to be solid D2 at definitely. Maybe even push D1, but I don't think they're really going for that right now. Maryland is another team where it's a lot of intrigue around Maryland. So the one thing that really sticks out with them is that they have a lot of players on MKC teams. Fate, Luffy, Sneaky, I'm pretty sure, and Asa, as well as Shamchaz, technically, all play on teams. I could be wrong if maybe Beige and ASN also do, but the thing about Maryland is that they have a lot of experience, especially even together, because the Maryland LAN scene is actually really deep. So to see Maryland finally bring that out into 6v6 is cool, because they also made playoffs in Division 1 ECRC/NRC in the 4s last semester. They're a very solid team, and when you have Fate as your ace, you don't know where the limit is there. Maryland, I know at the start of syllabus week, was projected to be potential D1. I don't know if that's going to be the case, because we want to look at the tables. I think when you look at tables about if you're going to be D1, you look at teams like, how do you compare against like Oklahoma, for example? And the thing is, with Maryland, they do have that win on Oklahoma. Granted, it is not with exactly the top Oklahoma lineup. If you look at what Oklahoma brought out, if you look at what Oklahoma had, where is syllabus week? Yeah, Dutch is a new player, duh. Okay, so I was right on that. So if you look at who Oklahoma had here, shout out to this table, you can tell Luther made it. Golden, Taika, Rumble, those are 3 top 6 for sure. Smiley's getting there. Dutch is a great addition. Marul is also a solid player, hasn't progressed to the top of Oklahoma lineup yet. So Maryland does beat Oklahoma by 32. Granted, you do have to consider that who was playing. Granted, those Shamchaz from the side of Maryland. But, like, Oklahoma not having, like, JWT, Toby, Rhino, especially, Rhino's popped off in recent months. You have to give credit where credit's due. So there's a kind of a slight asterisk on this table, and whether we like to admit it or not. So Maryland does have this win on Oklahoma, but considering lineup, I have a feeling that Oklahoma most likely wins this next time if they play again, wherever that's going to be. So because of that, and because Oklahoma at this point is like kind of like this, maybe like gatekeeper-esque team where like if you're better than Oklahoma, you're definitely Division 1. But Oklahoma is very solidly Division 1 as well. And like I don't even think they might not even be the worst team in Division 1, which just goes to show how impressive these results are so far. And to see a team like Oklahoma do well, yeah, it's great. But Maryland here, they have these great results so far. And Fate especially is going to do so much for this team no matter what. So having Fate and adding, once these players really start to creep up and improve and really start to get accustomed to that level of play, Maryland in like the spring is probably close to D1 level, if not there yet. And by next year, depending on how the rest of the roster is, like who stays, who develops, Maryland is likely Division 1 and next year, we're talking fall 2025. But overall, it's great stuff. And like, you see what happened with syllabus week. Some results we are expected. We expected FIU to impress. We expected Michigan, Oklahoma, UCSD to do the jobs they had to do. We had a feeling that UAH and Nebraska, that matchup was going to be impressive and really show off like what it's looking like to be in the lower divs at this point, or like middle divs, I guess, Brock say, because hey, you never know. But projections are that we might be at a point where Division 5 is in the cards. And then Maryland and Arizona State, 2 teams, both knocking on the door of D1, might not be there yet, but there's a chance for them in the future. So a lot of syllabus week gives us a lot of insight into what's looking like into the fall season, and I think that's some great results. Speaking of the fall season, before we touch a bit onto Let's see. Shout out to all the CCA players, Sneaky and Sneaky. I was gonna say, I recognize Sneaky from somewhere, and I'm like, yep, Maryland Splatoon. Splatoon mentioned. Shout out to CCA. If a lot of my favorite things about the collegiate scene, aside from College Mario Kart, does come from collegiate Splatoon. Great community over there. If your school has both Splatoon and Mario Kart, trust me. One, some of the Splatoon players make really good Mario Kart players, and two, you just want to see some great stuff overall. So you really want to shout out to collegiate esports in general. Love that over there. And people at CCA, DRF is one of my favorite people ever. So shout outs to them. Shout outs to DRF, Mizuno, Neptune, Omazon, all those guys over at CCA, guys and girls. Love them. Anyways, so by the way, if you guys aren't signed up for CKL fall season, please do so. If you haven't accepted your invites or haven't sent out invites to your team, please do so. I'm looking at some of these teams and I'm like, there's no reason why you guys should not be here. Oklahoma is the first team to sign up, and why do you mean you only have 5 players? You do not only have 5 players. Let's be real, guys. Rumble, what are we doing? I get it, guys. Everyone's busy. You got converted. You started with CCA. I do remember that. Yeah, I remember. I commentated one of Luxie's games last season. My connection died, which was rough, so I couldn't see half the stuff that happened. But yeah. CCA is great. Love them over there. But yeah, get your invites out. What's up, ASU? You guys played solo this week. You better be here. Better get that 8. UAH, same thing. Waiting on you guys. UCSD, both of y'all. I don't know the status between UCSD or what that breakdown's gonna look like now, but it's gonna be really interesting to see here. The next question I want to say is, there's a few teams. I guess we'll talk about it now. The teams we're really looking to see who comes back. Which are the new teams which are ooh, this might be interesting here. That's a good thing. Hello, NRC. Oh no. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Fitchy. I run First Division non-disjunction, and I'm like, I got no idea what that means. Non-disjunction, nah, I did not take microbiome. Guys, I studied psych. I did not do anything STEM related, so sorry guys, I cannot ask you for any help in that area. Social services, maybe. Anything else? But good luck with your studying, though. Take over CKL with Liberty, yeah. Not Liberty, what am I saying? Daybreak. Duh. That's embarrassing. So yeah, here we are. If you look at the teams that have eligibility, University of Utah, new program. This is a really exciting team. They are led by Snowy, who, if you don't know, plays with Cosmic over in the MKC scene. So that's a great team. There's a great player to already build off of there. And I think that's going to be fun to see what happens with a team that has a player to build around. You saw these teams already where there'd be one MKC player and then see what develops the rest of the way. Haven't hit microbiome yet, sorry. Still in Gen X and back end. Oh, I cannot imagine. Disgusting, to be honest with you. Four homologous chromosomes split unevenly, ends with 2 cells having 3 chromatids and 2 cells having 1 chromatid. I'm gonna pretend I know what that means, but I'm thinking about this and I'm like, okay, do I have to connect this with Mario Kart somehow? So it's like, let's say UCSD splitting up, so a lot of their first team ended up, when they split up, there's an imbalance, and their second team has more than their first team. Hence why UCSD Trenton Clown College has more than Trenton Turnpike. Because what are we doing here? Clown College. How are we doing? This team I'm excited for. I'm so excited for it. Okay, we were talking about the University of Utah. One player to build around and then see what the rest happens there. I'm excited to see how that happens. Or what goes on. I'm trying to think of teams that had like a similar story to that. Morgan, I guess. You could say Morgan when they first started. Granted, this is a much different version. Like a much more extreme version of what Morgan was, for sure. Because, like, Snowy, like, was a Division 6-ish? Mid-div, at least. Cosmic. Right? Yeah. I know, okay. Other new teams. West Georgia. How little I can see without mod powers. Yeah. That is true, yeah, there's a lot I can't see on here without the mod powers, and I'm not gonna get to that point, because oh well. But it makes my life more fun later on. University of West Georgia's fun, though. For those who don't know, Wisp's team. And now, Wisp and Stunter makes a solid duo as well. Here, Stunter, for those who don't know, plays with Dark Matter. So you have what was the Interstellar group here. Again, so Georgia was always Interstellar. That's just how it is. And so now we see UWG. Oh, there it is. Yeah, guys. For the guys new here, yeah, we have the HelloFresh sponsorship. You're not gonna see this for another 30 seconds, but hey, guys, look, HelloFresh. Woo! Got that going on as well, too. The HF sponsorship. So I was gonna say, yeah, Wisp recruited like crazy for UWG. I'm super hyped to see what this team brings out, because like, yes, Wisp and Stunter are gonna have to do a lot so far until I find out that there's like some crazy third player that we just haven't heard of yet, and I think that's gonna be fun. But UWG, this is a program that's exciting to see. I love seeing programs with players that have like already come up, especially now to see Wisp come back and play in CKL once again after being a member of original Peach State Patriots. This is gonna be really exciting. For those who don't know, Kutztown also recruiting like crazy. They have like about 20 players. They actually have like about 20 players. Do you know how insane that is? How the fact that we have multiple teams in multiple programs in this community are gonna have 2 teams. Kutztown? Michigan has 2 teams now? UCSD had 2 teams last season. I know Oklahoma could have had 2 teams if their rulings were allowed. FIU has 2 teams. Like, what has happened? Like, I love to see the growth of certain programs here, because that's been, like, awesome. And I'm so excited to see what that holds for us. Now, Kutztown, we're gonna talk about the first team down the line, but this second team I'm actually really excited. I love what's gonna be happening here on this second team. I don't know how many people are aware of like the players on here. There are some decent names over at this level, and I'm like, honestly, if you're Kutztown, like, this team is gonna go so under the radar. Like, I have a feeling people are gonna see them like division. They're gonna see them like really low. But if you go with extra practice for the main team, that's so real though. The second team is be hungry. They be grinding. But Kutztown too. KIL inside lane. this core, Sunset, Ocean, Lixki. This is a group you're gonna be really excited to watch for. So, Sunset, for those who don't know, also made the switch to bike recently, and if you watched Riptide, oh my gosh, that Dry Desert tiebreaker had me on, I want to say had me on the edge of my seat, but I was standing the entire time, so yeah. By the way, shout out to Sunset, great commentator as well. That was an absolute blast getting to commentate with her over at Riptide. Sorry for peeking the mic all the time, but well, whatever. Ocean as well. This player, she's gotten really good, really fast, and not a lot of people understand this because like she's really good on certain tracks. Not gonna leak what those are yet. You'll hear me leak things like closer to the deadline when I talk about these things more in depth. But Ocean, I watch her play at Broad Street Board, which is the Philadelphia LAN, for those who don't know, our monthly. She's been a finalist every month for good reason, and she's been insane. There are certain things that Ocean's doing that's like crazy. Dry Desert Tiebreaker was cinema. Oh my gosh, yeah. The trail on the Sunset, and then Sunset being able to cut up later. Like, oh, that was scary. That was dramatic. Oh my gosh. But yeah, Ocean, if you know, you know, there is some very technical influence from Ocean's play. And Ocean on certain tracks especially is like, geez, like what the heck where the hell did this come from? Because certain tracks Ocean is just insane on. Same with Sunset. And Lixki, one of the other Kutztown players not a lot of people know about, but Lixki's a very solid name. I know they played on a team. They were with Polaris for a while, up until the summer. Also played in Summer Switch Up. And I think this team, you have this core, and I don't know if this is going to be the group that like runs away in terms of driving, but I think their team play is going to shine a lot more than you would expect, because especially Ocean and Sunset, those are two players who it's like, ooh, you add them to a lot of teams and they just pop off, and like it really adds off to the team there. It's gonna be interesting to see them as like main options for the first time, unless one of these players just comes out of nowhere, because like that's the thing about Kutztown. Kutztown just brings out players and they're like, who are they? Where did they come from? Bo developing as well as they did. That's Mace Steepian developing as well as she did. Crazy. Anomaly has gotten so good, like in the past few months. Like Kutztown is really impressive, and I'm also excited. These newer players, Swaggy P. I can see Swaggy P at Broad Street Blur this month. I will be reporting back with findings and when I learn more, because I'm like, any more info on Kutztown is great info. And there's just other names here. Kutztown's gonna be great. I think, especially when you look at the first team, I think they're running out of time to really contend. So this season is going to be kind of make or break in a way. This year, because I think a couple players are graduating soon. And you want to see what they can do in the meanwhile. Other teams we want to talk about. Okay, I have to. One of the biggest storylines I'm looking at is the Milwaukee Panthers. For those who don't know, Shadow's team. Shadow from Dark Matter. Finalist over at Riptide 2024. This team, I think, is going to be really fun to watch. Because Shadow especially is such a phenomenal name. They're so good, and you saw them improve so fast in such a short period of time. To bring them over to the collegiate scene to really play, and they're having some decent results over in NRC, which we'll discuss later. But really, this player is going to do a lot for this team, and I could see them really helping them on there. Shout out to M. How you doing, my guy? Milwaukee is going to be a really fun team to look out for. Oh, shout out to M for the sub. Appreciate you, my man, Love that. By the way, I'm on a 30-second delay, but hey, shout out to us. Let's go. Pacific League champs, D4, Tetris Ultimatrix, Lunar Colony banner too. Would have preferred like Woohoo Island or whatever the Woohoo Town. But yeah, love that. I want to see the UA Milwaukee Scrim when we get to that point. That's a team where I'm like looking at like, yeah, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be really fun here. Speaking of which, Arizona's back. Yeah, regular Arizona, not Arizona State. Oh, okay, so 6 is official. Oh, it's so fun. Where is your UTK? We'll talk about UTK because I need them to sign up first. I want to know where the hell University of Tennessee is because they should be here. And the way Tennessee is, like, the way Tennessee has gotten, they've improved so much over the summer. There's a couple of really fun names there. I really want to see what happens with Tennessee because they're gonna be so good. Where are they? I need them to sign up. But okay, you look at Arizona. First of all, Arizona having 4 flags is kind of funny to me. But this is gonna be great to see Arizona really back. Let's assume they finish the season this time. No shots, but like, I believe in them this time. This is the season they'll be here. They'll finish it out. And like, it's so cool to see Fitchy Ralts 6 and then just working around with like a newer group. I expect with the less expectations pushed onto them. This is going to be such a fun team to really look at and see how they progress and kind of grow as a program because like Arizona, one of the founding members of this league, really one of the first college teams in our community. To see them back, it's a great thing here. It's great for the scene, and I really want to see Arizona do well. And there's some names, I was talking with Fitchy, like, there's some decent names that got recruited. And I want to see how these new names stack up with the rest of the scene. Really excited to see what they do against Milwaukee, or whenever they start scrimming. But yeah, please, I need Tennessee to sign up, because, like, geez, you look at some of these teams. Also, Baruch is real. I guess they're real, but the thing about Baruch is that I'm waiting to see if they even get 8. 8 being the minimum for CKL. We look at this team and like, yes, okay. The top 3 is freaking insane. It's just a matter of all 3 of them have to be playing at the exact same time, or else this team is gonna like be so much harder to contend against like teams with a lot more depth. We're at the point now where like depth really matters, especially at the highest level of CKL. And the bottom 3 and the other 3 can't be like, they have to be fairly competent for Baruch to truly contend. Because it's so weird to say this, but like, you ate it too last night. Oh, I didn't see tables yet, so I know you guys did, but I do want to see Milwaukee scrims. Yeah, yes. This top 3 is insane. For those who aren't aware of how good this lineup is, Darky, XIV, D1. You look at this resume. Nah, this resume is mental. Daybreak, XIV, Encore, Star Clan. You look at this like, jeez. And that's only one. They have Luckyo? If you don't know, look at this resume here. Formerly Daybreak, Black Magic, Star Clan. They're in scrim results. Nice. I'll take a quick look. Ah, Force. Okay. That gives you some insight. Nice. Great stuff. Like, you look at Luckyo here, like, Luckyo and Darky. Like, how much more could you be asking for? And Momo! You don't know Momo. Momo's one of my goats. I love Momo. talked to them a lot back in when I was on Buzz / Only Friends, because I used to ally all the time. Member of Trivial Matters. One MKU as well with TM. It's played on Buzz before. This core. If this core plays, this is legitimately one of the best teams in the country. It's just a matter of, can they actually get 5 more people? Because, like, I hope so. I really want to see Baruch here. But I need them to actually get 8 so I can believe in this. No, I am not playing in SOS this week. I am so sorry, IPL. So I'm getting inside information here. Because I want to point this out, because there are a few interesting results. UA, UCSD. So this is UCSD, a lot of UCSD too. And some interesting stuff that's happened here. Okay. Oh, that's interesting then. It already is the best, bro. Yeah. The thing is, like, yeah, I think Baruch is very good. Okay. I think we have to, we'll show this next, because, like, the thing is then is, like, about who could be the best if it's not Baruch. There's, like, a couple names that come to mind. One in particular that really sticks out. Okay, so Arizona having this result against UCSD. A lot of UCSD too here. Brown 420 has been really impressive lately. Nub has been good. Lemon Grab as well. IBA. Okay, Luna's been solid. 6 and Fitchy are going to do what 6 and Fitchy do. They're going to help UA. But now it's like, okay, there's a argument now for UA in D4, which would be fun as heck. But it really will determine, like, who is going to be here. I really want to see, because UCSD 2 is pushing up now, I guess, closer to also D3. I want to see how UCSD 2, how this UCSD group does against, like, other teams in around that area. Hello, Fresh. Now, so, because some people also don't know about how crazy some of these players are, let's take a look at Florida International University 1 FIU Panthers and how special this lineup is starting to look. So, yes, you look at this and it's like, okay, maybe it doesn't have the same, like, aura as Darky Luckyo Momo that Baruch has, but let's be honest, guys. FIU 1, this is disgusting. Green, Gank, Rex, Milkshake, Ted Bear, Nick. Green plays on Dynamite now, but you look at this. Yeah. Insane. Like, Green was insane. Green, yeah, AGS, Star Clan, Daybreak, 0 Hour Dynamite, like, nah. Gank, member of 0 Hour now, played on AGS2, the DJ Gubin Wild Vacations era, LV, BDD. This team, the fun thing is now is Green and Gank, this is their first time playing in CKL with the fall season. So they had the preseason, they won the preseason tournaments. But now we get to see what they do here. The whole damn brigade, yes. And yeah, because like FIU 1, there is Rex, Milkshake, Nick, Ted Bear, who all play for Dark Matter in Z15. Really solid group, and Rex has contingency experience as well. Milkshake, Ted Bear having stuff too. Ted Bear has been Crusaders as well as Neko Knights. The TJ Gubin team with Gank. Shoutouts to them. And Nick as well having just experience. FIU had this solid core that's just added on by Gank and Green. It's not that's not okay. That's not okay. It's not a secret. I think FIU is currently my projected number 1. I want to see how Baruch recruits before saying anything else. And then UCSD is still solid. Michigan is still very good. So there's some great stuff here. And I love NAS now. We'll talk about it. But like, a lot of teams at Division 1, or what would be Division 1, are like really solid overall. And there's like there's a lot of depth on these teams. Let's take a look at Michigan. I think Michigan's I can't believe I'm saying Michigan's underrated, but Michigan's like low-key kind of underrated. Mexican, Crow, Shorts, Whooper goes Whoop. Like, that core is solid as already. C2D2 is becoming really good really fast. Maybe Aiden, Toadmaster as well. If this team is able to play their best players consistently, then what's the reason that they can't do well? I don't know if there is one. It's an insane lineup. Legitimately, just straight up off the bat. I want to talk about Maryland, but Maryland only has 3 of their players signed up, and I don't want to just pull up. I guess I will have to pull it up. The syllabus week rosters for Maryland, because we talked about it over in the Maryland recap, but look at this roster. Fates, Asa, Luffy, Shamchez, Sneaky. Great players over there. Beige as well is becoming really good really fast. And yeah, obviously, we'll spend more time talking about each of these teams down the line. One team I do want to talk about right now, though, Georgia. Because this team is really, this is a really interesting team to see. Because we all know the elephant in the room of no spoon. But you still have Dynamo. You still have Stingray. And like, Stingray especially has gotten insanely good. US tops on Squeaky Clean? Getting 4th at Riptide? Ray is really developed into a player of his own. I remember helping Angle with the summer switch up like draft scouting, and I remember like, yeah, Ray is going to drop a bit farther than I think he should go, and Ray is going to be a steal pickup. And Stingray, this is one of the players to really watch for this season. I think, especially assuming Georgia goes, that'd be fun. Hi, this is Loopy from Fate and Friends. Shout out to Loopy. How are we doing, my guy? I thought you missed the Ace Attorney music already. My bad, but really hope you're doing well, my guy. Also, excuse me? I'm pretty sure that this is the lounge player that I've heard from the Georgia peeps. The fact that they just found like a silver player in lounge, like, I don't know how you people are doing this in general. Like, how are we finding players that go to the same lounge? I don't know, but we are, and it's kind of funny. Just at the, it really is just kind of funny to see, like, oh look, we just find this player in lounge, because this is not the first school to do this. We saw how Mexican got to Michigan, just find someone in lounge. But now we have a Japanese player here too. That's cool. It's actually really cool to see some like Japanese representation here, because like, think about it like this. If you guys, I don't know how many of you guys know who Shu is, but like, Shu could have been on FIU, and like that would have been disgusting if Shu and this FIU was there. Yeah, I've heard that as well. Taka isn't great from the 6v6 from what we've seen so far. I think it's a lot of the dynamic. It's just very different from 6v6 compared to lounge, especially because like Georgia as a whole, like those, like pretty much the entire state of Georgia when it comes to like collegiate Mario Kart, they are stronger in team settings than they are in lounge. And that's not a shot against them in lounge. It's just like they really shine in the team setting. Taka is kind of the counterpoint there, where you have a player who's better off in lounge and has a lot more experience there, and that'd be fun. Luffy saying we can get some Japanese players. We're waiting for the day a Japanese school just comes through. I haven't talked to Shu in a while, neither have I. I met Shu in person one time. That was one of the last times I talked to them. Really great guy, though. Georgia, I really hope Georgia pulls through and is able to recruit and get enough players, because I don't know if any of the Georgia reps are here, but like, if Georgia gets enough, that's a fun team. I don't think they're Division 1 this season, unless something changes. You never know. We've been seeing crazy recruits since last spring. You never know. But I would love to see how Georgia progresses later on. Have we heard? Auburn is brand new. As far as I know, like, even their captain is brand new. Yeah, their captain is brand new. I haven't heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but I haven't heard much from Auburn. But it'd be really cool to see Auburn, like, get enough players there. I think there's a chance they do, but yeah. Gotta see what happens. There's a few other names that aren't here that we're really looking to see. Waterloo? I can't believe Waterloo is, like, real? Because, like, the Waterloo results are kind of insane. Like, straight up. I got to find it. Not this one, but I believe in the Georgia. I believe in the Peach. I believe in the Peach State. I would love to see Georgia pull through. Really hoping you guys pull it off. UCSD, Waterloo. So the fun thing is, yes, you have Iona 134. To see Iona back after playing from Ontario United, who won the fall season in a year ago. Great return. But like, this isn't Waterloo at full strength, and I think that's a scary thing, because sadly their table isn't here as far as I know. It's sorry guys, pretend you don't see anything. Pretend you don't see anything. But this table, I saw this table, and I'm like, that was insane. We'll talk about this because I'm really interested to see what happens here. But if Waterloo is real, what is this? This is not only is this a good OnlyFriends lineup, but this is an OnlyFriends lineup with allies. Like Peas, who's insane at this game. Like, quite literally, this is almost a team-up lineup, funny enough, unironically. But you look at this Waterloo table, Ingite, Iona, Boss has been showing results. Depending on if this team is real, this is I would want to say this is Division 1. Like, this is the top lineup. Like, you can't just show a result like this. You can't just put up a result like this and not have people talk about it. This is not a result to scoff at. Exactly. Holy cow, like, where did this team come from? Like, and I know it's like, oh my gosh, if we still had the original Ontario United, can throw Godkip on here too, Doc Proc. Like, Ingate and Iona, just insane. Like, this team is going to be so good if they make it in, and they actually pull through and get that together. Tennessee has results. Oh, okay. It's a good Tennessee thing. Just getting farmed. Okay, finally we can talk Tennessee. I'm waiting for this team to just sign up, because Tennessee is so fun. Tennessee is I'm so excited for Tennessee this season. I don't know where they're getting placed, because legitimately, that's a team that's like, okay, after last season going 0-10, yeah, probably they should have been lower. You see this team now, and like, big shoutouts to Ghost and Jared/Jay Guzzi. Those two players have put in insane work. Karina/Evolved is still very good as well. And now this is a legitimate like core of players, and this result against UCLA with this kind of lineup, impressive. It's a very impressive result because UCLA is one of those teams like borderline D2, D3, depending on how you look at it. I want to see how the rest of the teams around their level shape up, because like, I was talking with Fitchy about this. There are so many teams that are like potential Division 2. We'll talk about it in like a couple weeks, but like, oh my gosh, Tennessee's a contending team. This is not the same Tennessee that we saw last season. Excited to see what they got coming for us down the line. Okay, we can talk about this. URI, Rhode Island, like, and like the fun thing is, I'm not gonna leak everything yet, but wait till you graduate. I was gonna say MU graduates soon, which is crazy to think about on my end, because I'm like, I remember it's been a while since I've played with you now, so it's like, you're graduating, I think, in either this year or like next year, which is crazy to think about, because that Tennessee group, if you go to Tennessee, oh, that's a scary team. Now, okay, so, oh, okay, they've been around for a while. I wonder if they play Lounge. They might not have that same tag. Oh well. Okay, so URI, Rhode Island, brand new team. As far as I know, if I find out that they have like this insane player coming through, I'm gonna lose my mind. I don't think it'll happen, but you never know. Oh, shouts to, yeah, congrats on graduating later this year, Em. If I'm in Tennessee, I'll come to the grad party. Kidding, not kidding. So URI, okay. And like, there's some other teams we're looking at that are potentially having CSULB, California State University Long Beach. That team has players. Waiting on them to sign up, because there's some good players on that team as well. But I'm really excited to see. Other ones I'm thinking about off top of my head. Who is not signed up that we are waiting on? There's a couple colleges who are looking to make a team for the first time. Rochester Institute of Technology, from what I've heard. Illinois, I think, might be a thing next spring. I'm trying to think. I think Eastern Kentucky is looking to make a team. I don't know if Kentucky is trying to do something. The seeding is going to be hell. I don't blame you. Yeah, it's just going to be a nightmare. There's going to be, like, teams like, okay, Auburn is probably bottom div. We don't know anything about them. URI, probably bottom div if they gather. Then there's, like, how many teams are, like, Division 2 level? You have teams like Maryland, Arizona State. There was a small college in Iowa. I don't know if they actually had 7, but there were some small colleges. I remember Co-College was trying to gather. I don't know if they actually are going to. Buena Vista, yeah. There's a few. There's teams out there that we're waiting on. Everett, yeah. I just want to pull up the seeding sheet, because I know we have a list of like teams that are potentially happening, but I don't want to leak my seedings right away. Yeah, I was gonna say Virginia Tech hasn't signed up yet. I don't know if Iona will. New Mexico has it, which I'm surprised about. McDaniel, I think, might be dead this season. EIU, I don't know if they're gonna ever come back. Who's that team? CSUF, imagine they come back. And then St. Clair, I don't know if St. Clair comes back. Because Bonker's leaving. I think Moose still goes there, but that team's very much in limbo. Virginia Tech should be back. I'm surprised they're not here yet. Iona, I think, might be for sure next season. I don't know about this, but I will be happy to see. But you never know. Iona signed up second last year. You never know what happens. I am surprised New Mexico hasn't signed up yet because New Mexico State is here. The Aggies, I don't think Toffee has a record as far as I know, but at least not with 6v6, so we'll see what happens. About to quick cover NRC then, unless there are questions that come up. I realize I have to wait like 30 seconds. Yeah, NC State. NC State is another team I know is in limbo because I've heard they might have enough, but I know they're like on the verge. They're really close to having it, I think, or they're barely, or they're like 1 or 2 away pretty much. They either have it or it's like 1 or 2 there. Toffee plays Lounge? Okay, that makes sense. I was gonna say, if you're here at this point, you probably play Lounge. Okay. Ironish for now. They play our seasons. Okay, they played 2 seasons now. Iron level. Okay, so roughly D5-ish still. Unless NMSU really pulls something out, I don't see them moving up. Similarly, I think University of North Alabama is transitions into what I'm gonna do with NRC, because like Beta Brett does have a record with, I want to say it's Max Ambition and now Volt Switch. I want to say it is Max Ambition. Yeah, Max Ambition, Sunta Drifters, Grim Troop, Celestials. Okay, expected. But now we can talk about NRC, because the thing is, like, to really understand seedings for like CKL, you have to look into NRC, because there's some great stuff happening here that's like, you want to just like see who's going to be over there. When will RIT sign up? I want to see it. I do want to see RIT. RIT is like, that program is going to be very, yeah, I know how they are in Splatoon, and College Splatoon and College Market. There is a correlation there. Kutztown is on the rise there. Georgia has a strong program. Oklahoma has a strong program, and look at what's happening here in Mario Kart. UCSD literally started College Splatoon pretty much, so like there's a good chance like a team RIT will be good here in Mario Kart. I'm in time trials. What am I doing? Score reporting. So the fun thing here is that like, I wish we had like team tags everywhere, but like, oh well. There's a few tables I really want to look at that really give you a glimpse. Okay, so Division 1 West from NRC. A lot of great players here. The moment Texas Tech becomes a thing in terms of like 6v6 is going to be really scary, because Greg and Cam Reddish, jeez, that's a solid duo. Like, insane duo. Imagine them with like a team built around that as well. It'd be really cool. Shadow is a great player as well. This table doesn't show them justice, but like, imagine. Oh, you just joined Maryland's Splatoon team too? Nice, let's go, Luffy. I miss playing Splatoon. I miss playing CCA. Like, a few people know this, but I missed over half of my season in my senior season of CCA because of a hand injury, which is wild. So, but I actually played one game with on with a wrist brace. So, oh well. Oh, we'll talk about this. We'll talk about lemons. Okay, we have to do this. Okay, before we talk about that, I want to bring up Division 3 FFA, because Beta Brett in D3 West tying with Super Fresh Boy, and you see this because D3, there's some interesting names here. Is it really West? Oh, it's D3 East, my bad. Fresh, Super Fresh Boy, Prism, J, Greensicle. There's some great names here, and to see Beta Brett's high, okay. It gives a glimpse into what we are seeing, but it's like, okay, but it's also D3, NRC. They have the team experience, but you also look at who's probably around them. They're like kind of similar, I want to say, to like, or at the level right now. It's like if it's one player we know and then like 5 players we haven't figured out yet, then I'm willing to lean towards schools like Milwaukee over North Alabama. Yeah, it's because Shadow's a better individual player than Beta Brett, and I know Shadow's very solid in 6v6 as well. So probably seeing them higher than Northern Alabama. Yeah, it's gonna be it really all depends on like the group of that surrounds these like 1 players we know. NRC has shown some really fun results. Like, jeez, look at this table. It's also really cool seeing certain players really move up and really show out. Sales has gotten really good really fast. I say that a lot now. That's one of the big things we said today. Really good really fast. But Sales has improved immensely. Because they just started like earlier this year. I remember talking with Solution multiple times over the season in the spring. And we were talking a lot about Sales because Sales was growing really quickly. Oh, okay. Well, shout out to that. Fine. Shout out to that. Let's go. Yeah, good luck with tryouts, Gabe. Really excited to see what you got over there. So have fun with that. I love tryouts for White Mario Kart. I'm so happy that teams are just building these programs. Like, so fun. Riffy has Arizona, Milwaukee, UNA all next to each other in seedings. I could tell you when I did my seedings, I did them in alphabetical order, but divisions. Staff can attest to this, that if you look at my seeding so far, it's not finalized, it's grouped by division and then grouped alphabetically within. So UA, UWM, and UNA, it's a toss-up. At this point, I would say UWM is better than UNA. I want to say UA is higher than both of those teams, just because like we know more about UA than we know about the other two. Obviously, we'll have to see results between all these teams come up, especially because UA hasn't had bad results really. So it's a matter of like seeing how do these teams stack up with each other. NRC is so fun to watch in terms of like who do we have here, because like you see things like this table. This was wild. Milkshake right below Tech. This is not an easy room. Like, geez, you see this room? You did yours in sign up order? I was gonna say the one thing I learned to do is like we do not until registration starts to close, there is no point in like putting like direct seeds in like this early on, because like what's the point when we don't know finalized rosters yet? We'll do it in sign up order. We will group them, and we have like blocks. It's like more of a tier list rather than a ranking, for lack of a better word. Some of these teams are gonna be so fun to watch. Oh my gosh, you look at this table, it was wild. I have to keep pushing on my glasses because I got new ones. That's fun. Okay, this one's good to note also. So Beta Brett, D3-ish? Is this D3? So I'm looking at this. Notable things here. Beta Brett is MVP in room, and that's expected. Beta Brett's a very solid player overall. I don't know how this translates well to 6v6. I heard they're solid. A solid player from... I've talked to the Volt Switch guys and girls. They're pretty high on Beta Brett. So UNA, potential there. I don't know if they're going to be better than a lot of teams in their level, because like I look at that team and they're like, depending on the rest of the 5, I put them below Milwaukee because Shadow purely over Brett's. I have Moravian over UNA. One, because Homer bias. Two, because Angle over Brett. And there's a couple more experience between like Baja Kamo, Mighty, Ash Cash. And then there's like other names here. Like I want to see UNA Kutztown inside line because I think there's some potential there because Ocean, Sunset, Lixky maybe combined will do something along the lines of what Beta Brett can do individually. But obviously it'll depend on like what happens, and teams aren't finalized by any ways. Trying to see what else then. One thing I did want to go over, and we're gonna do this a lot more as the season comes on, but one team that I think is gonna get a lot of hype that really does deserve it. They better be signed up. Please tell me they're signed up. They are. Okay. UNI, University of Northern Iowa. I don't know if you guys understand how good this team is now. Jesus Christ, I forgot Bugs is on UNI now. I completely forgot Bugs is on UNI. Oh my god. That's an insane addition. Because you look at UNI, and the thing about UNI was this. They had a great core. You had Lemons, you had Archie, you had Icy as well. Accident has improved a lot in the past few months. So like UNI had a great core, and there's a lot of depth there as well. But Bugs, this is kind of like the thing that I think UNI needed. They needed like one player to like really help them, like kind of act as like that. I don't want to say anchor, because like anchor has a very different meaning in Mario Kart, but like kind of that keystone, that cornerstone piece, just the kind of like the glue guy to really hold this team together. And I think adding Bugs, the experience here, it really adds a lot. Trust me, their roster history does not do them justice, like whatsoever. I played with Bugs a couple times when they allied for Team Upload. Very good player. Yeah, play with Max Ambition when Max Ambition was pushing up. I think that's another thing you want to note. Because yeah, back then MA was kind of all over the place, but Max Ambition was solid at the time. And now After Party Remix is the first team, so that's a very good team as well. So very solid. So to see Bugs now add on to what was a really solid UNI core, UNI is legitimately one of those teams where it's like they were already improving a ton. And you consider that, you understand that like UNI was a team that's like they're pushing Division 1. I don't know if they're there yet, but like, yeah, you remember Bugs? Bugs is solid, yeah. But UNI, you talk about them now, like, and it's funny because like UNI has never hit playoffs just because of unfortunate circumstances. It got ripped away from them last week in the fall of 2023. Got close in the spring 2024, things didn't work out, and now here they are. You look at this team and like Bugs, that's such a great addition. That's like one of the best things there, and I think it's so cool that like we're at the point now where like we're actually talking about like teams are adding established players. It's so fun. Like wow. Michigan State, I've talked about them a few times in the past, but now it's like this team is gonna go under the radar. I think both Michigan and Michigan State will be like underrated, which is a shame because Michigan State especially really solid. There's no reason to not believe in this team. They're like consistent. They were finalists of D2 last spring. They won as part of House Divided in the fall. You look at this Nova, I don't know, Matt Adler, who's gotten a good reputation in the past like few months stemming into last semester. A very solid name to really improve this core. Silver Phoenix is good as well. I think Michigan State kind of going in with a bit of a chip on their shoulder. They pushed the game 3 last season, then stuff happened, and then didn't win it out, unfortunately. But Michigan State's really solid. I want to see them do well this season. Definitely think they could. And then the other storylines here, UWO is back. For those who don't remember, Domi putting up like, what was it, 2 180s? You don't put up 180 just once. You put 180 up twice in your div. And now I don't think we're going to see another 180 again. Not for a while. Not in this division. Not with them, at least, because they're going to be put up. But excited to see how the former Division 4 champ goes. And what do they do going into the future? We'll talk about all these teams in the future as well. There's some teams that are like, okay, we'll see what happens here. Idaho, the Vandals. As far as I know, this is all new. I'm actually gonna check this really quick because new program. I don't know who's new. Okay, they're all new. Idaho's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna see what happened in them. UWO has been on the lounge grind. I do remember hearing about that. Definitely think there's a lot of insight that can go there. Yeah, they played Squawkies quite a few times. They regional a lot as well, and a few of their members played in Summer Switch Up. So UWO, I think, is gonna be kind of impressive going on. Shout out to Arizona, one member away from being eligible. How many teams are close? UCLA is almost there. UCSD 2 is almost there. These teams will all hit it. Michigan should hit it. Michigan 2 should hit it, I believe. Moravian, Georgia, we're hoping. I think Moravian has 10. It's a matter of getting them to actually sign up on MKC. Because I know that's the history of Moravian. It's like, okay, they get this recruiting haul, and there's just no one just shows up. Let's hope that changes this year. I believe in Engel, believe in Baja. And the rest of these teams, new. We'll see if they gather. Oh, let's go. Found a guy direct tournament. You guys might have 8. Love that. I know Emolga isn't playing this season, or isn't playing with you guys either, so hopefully you do get the 8th, because that'd be fun. See Arizona finally back. Almost a year removed now. That's crazy to think about it. Roadrunner Gaming, UTSA, University of Texas San Antonio. Unlucky Pro. Where have I heard Unlucky Pro? Was it just from Texas Unified? And there, it might have been. I could have sworn I've heard Unlucky Pro somewhere else. As for that, though, that should be fun. We'll see what happens there. So, okay, let's take a quick look. We hit the things I wanted to hit, at least in terms of of covering. Doesn't have time to play. I was gonna say, Emolga definitely did not have time to play. But any questions here before we wrap up for this section of class, I guess, 201 week 1. You could argue it's like the preseason week, but no, we'll keep it going. We'll resume again next week with all that there, so, and then see what's up coming on, because we have a bit of a nice timeline here. So next week is more speculation. I think you're gonna hear me talk more about individual players next week, and maybe we'll see what's happening with NRC, what's happening with like registrations with CKL. The speculation is like a lot of the big thing here now in the weeks leading up to deadline. Week 3, so October 2nd, that's gonna be something, because deadline really comes close. And October 6th, Sunday, October 6th, I'm coming right back from a small vacation, but I'm gonna be doing a late night stream, a long one, recapping every single team that signed up, hitting that deadline again. When will the study guide be posted? Week 1, I guess. The study guide gets made during registration deadline. So, we will get to that going. So, in the next few seconds, you guys will be seeing a raid once I figure out a program to raid. So, not the game, dear God. But, it was fun. That's fun. Let's see who can I raid here. Oh, okay. Oh, rep. That'll be fun. Oh god, that's a lot. That's hell. That is such a long name to spell to raid. I'm so sorry. Barco? We're gonna be reading Marco then in a few seconds or so. So, if there's no questions, that's it for us. Can I get an NIL? There's no NIL deal. I'm so sorry. We're not making money in this game. Not in this year. There's no such thing. If you get winnings in a LAN, that's it. If you get winnings in like an online event, that's it. We're not getting NILs. Can I go to BS? Yo, you can go. Let's go, Riffy. Nice. I love that. We'll see you there then, Riffy. So, okay. So, I'm watching my timer because in the next few seconds, you guys will be seeing a raid come up, and we'll just end the stream here. But it's been a pleasure, guys, talking to you. Been absolute blast. It always is. I love this. Really missed you guys. Hoping to do some more stuff here, especially as the deadline comes up. We got a lot of great stuff to look forward to, guys. So, I think it's good enough. So, let's hit the raid. Let's start this raid then. Hope you guys are ready to go. Have a good one, guys. Really excited to see what you guys got coming forward. So, until next time, we'll see you guys.